Franciscan Hermitage. Welcome to the Franciscan Hermitage as we celebrate the 22nd Sunday in Ordinary Time. I would like to point out a couple of items in these readings. Number one, in the first reading, it talks about how close God is to all of us. And that is a concept that is really hard to understand. God is closer to you than you are to yourself. You are an expression of the divine in this particular time and space. So you and God are one. And in the second reading, it talks about how the divine presence has been planted in us, reinforcing that unity. And when you understand that, and you understand that the divine is in every living thing on the planet, then that's going to affect the way you act. And that's what the gospel is all about. If you are really following the divine presence that is within you, then you will be doing these good deeds that are mentioned in the gospel. You know, this week I came across a true story that was under the title of The Law of the Garbage Truck. And it was a story about this young man who had hailed a taxi cab in New York, and they were driving on the outside lane next to all the parked cars. And all of a sudden, this car pulled out directly in front of the cab, and the cabbie threw on his brakes and skidded and missed the car just by a couple of inches. And the man who was driving the car drove his car out and yelled some New York profanities and even some physical gestures, which all New Yorkers know. And the cabbie, instead of getting very excited, he put a smile on his face and he waved, and with a very loud voice he said, "I love you just the way you are." And this young man who was sitting in the cab said, "Why do you do that?" And he said, "Well," he said, "I follow the law of the garbage truck." And he explained it this way. Many people are like garbage trucks. They run around full of garbage, full of frustration, full of anger, full of disappointment. As their garbage piles up, they look for a place to dump it. And if you let them, they'll dump it on you. So, when someone wants to dump on you, don't take it personally. Just smile, wave, and shout out loud, "I love you just the way you are," and then move on. Believe me, he said, you'll be a very happy person. My dear friends, please note that this incident has nothing to do with organized religion. It has to do with the way the person relates to other people. And that's what we teach here at the Hermitage. We really don't care what religious affiliation you have. What's important is your connection and your conscious connection with the divine that is present with you all the time. And that's why our center is an interfaith center. So, the challenge is, number one, to become daily and, if possible, consciously aware of the divine presence within you all the time. When you are in that mindset, then you will never let people dump garbage on you. You will be able to project the divine love that is you to the other person. And that's the way we are going to create world peace. So, the practical application for this week is, see what you can do about projecting that divine love, especially to people who may be difficult, or those who are trying to dump their garbage on you. And of course, pay attention then to how good you feel. Now, you can all do this because you are all powerful spiritual beings, and your love makes a difference. Have a wonderful week, and God bless you all.